Okay, perfect. We are live. Hello to our guest. I'm really excited about this session. It's really interesting. The topic we're having today is really unique. Hand in hand, we make the world a better place with Riya Yadav from India and Riad Tahan from Lebanon. The purpose of this session is very simple, but it's so important. The purpose of this session first is the exchange of culture, and then to discuss service learning between across the universe. This session was supposed to be broadcasted live last Saturday, but in view of the catastrophe that happened in Lebanon, we truly postponed it. Very simple because we couldn't be ready. We were emotionally in distress and we were very tired. This kind of sessions I used to do when I used to be back at school, connecting students together across the globe with face to face. We give them a huge salute. And students used to exchange notes. This tonight's topic, we have it's divided into different sessions. But basically, we're going to discuss the exchange of culture, how it happens in India versus Lebanon. And for you all to know, Riyadh and Riya do not know each other. They're just meeting each other for the first time tonight. Very interesting young lady and young man. I had to have a chit chat with them. And basically, we're going to discuss the importance of service learning. During this chaotic phase in Lebanon, I'm not going to be take long. We witnessed something very important, how people in Lebanon during this chaotic time stood hand in hand to help each other. What is service learning? Service learning became part of the academic curriculum years back, not long back, but years back, and developed further in Lebanon. And we're going to know from Riya when it was developed in India. And the purpose of it is for students to learn educational standards through tackling real life problems in their community. People cannot do it alone. I want to ask you, please, if you have any question, to refer them to either Facebook directly so we can read them, or to my WhatsApp. And if I get disconnected from both of you, Riya and Riyadh, please keep on talking. I will come back. It will be electrical problem that is not in my hands. What's important is how individuals can change aspects in their community and can play very important roles in their community. And on the other side, did schools play a role, and is it important for service learning to go more and more in details with the students, empowering them? Because at the end of the day, they are the future of the world, and our future is in their hands. I'm not going to talk long. We're going to be discussing now with Riya and Riyadh the aspects of service learning, direct, indirect, advocacy, and research. Let's see. Hello, Rudy from Chicago, Cynthia from Lebanon. Let's get now to both Riya and Riyadh. Riya, hello, can you please introduce yourself?
Yes, ma'am. Yes. So, hello everyone. First of all, I'd like to say that I was really saddened by the news of the Lebanon, and I hope that everything is fine out there. So, beginning with my introduction, I'm 16 and I'm from India. I have a keen interest in politics, and that is why, so as to keep myself updated, I have started my own newsletter called The Knowledgement. And I also have some interest towards community services, and also I'm an environmentalist, and I like to do things that are in favor of the environment, and I'm a great advocate of it. Furthermore, I aspire to become a policymaker in particularly in the field of politics and combining it with the community service. So that is my introduction.
Okay, we'll get back to you on that. Tell me first, where are you from India? Which city?
I'm from the capital, which is New Delhi.
You live in the capital.
Yes,
Okay, and how are you in a private or public school?
I'm in a private school.
Private school. How many languages do you speak?
Just English and Hindi. Also, we have an option to study foreign language, and we have choices either German or French, or there is a regional language called Sanskrit in India. So, out of those three, we are being taught one of them. So, I chose German.
Okay, is the how many languages? How many slang languages there are in India?
There are many regional languages, more than the states.
And is the written same as the spoken?
Not always. There are
Not
their own alphabets as well.
okay. We go to Riyadh, and you told me that you are in high school, and next year will be, depending on your exams, a decisive year for you to join university based on your grades.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we're going to Riyadh. Hello, Riyadh.
Hello everyone, my name is Riad Tahan and I'm from Lebanon. I'm 17 years old and I go to a school in Lebanon called International College of Ras Beirut, so it's in the capital. But I don't live in the capital, I live far from the capital, so thank God nothing happened to me from the explosion. I speak three languages, French, Arabic, and English. And these past 2 years, I've been learning Spanish at school, so I also speak a little bit of Spanish. And my school is a private school, not a public one.
Okay, and as well, you have done a lot of community service activities
Yeah.
that we're going to discuss through the sessions. For those that have joined us now, I would like to remind you that we are now exchanging culture between India and Lebanon with Riya and Riyadh, that are practically the same age, heading in a year to university, and we're going to hear from them more about what's happening in their world. Riya, Yadav, tell me a bit more about service learning and community service activities at your school. How did it happen?
So initially, what I think is that in our country, some of the students have this thinking that if you donate, if you have if you spend your time towards community service, then you would be compromising with academics. So I don't think that is the true scenario. Uh, I was also a part of community service, and I was able to balance it with academics as well. So we have this club called Interact Club, which is under an international organization called Rotary, which we are well aware of. So under that club, we have to carry out various projects towards uh, community service, be it helping the poor people or towards environment or maybe towards women empowerment. So it's up to your choice which social issue which you'd like to highlight on.
I have a question. Is it compulsory? Is it like a compulsory course that you have to complete? Is it a specific number of hours per year, or it's optional?
It's totally optional.
It
It's
is
up to
optional.
you. Yes, it's up to the
Okay.
person.
And the club you mentioned, it's called Interact at school, and it's part of the Rotary International, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And what did you choose to do yourself?
I chose the social issue environment.
An environment.
Yes, ma'am.
Tough. Were you able to include it within the school, within your environment?
Yes, it was quite a success, though it was difficult. Like, we carried out many projects, starting from the anti-plastic drive, in which the students have, in which the we were instructed by the authorities that we are not allowed to use any of the plastic substances, be it bottle or be it the lunch boxes. So we totally banned it.
Careful your voice, please. Your voice. Yes.
Can you hear
Yes.
me now?
Now, yes. You were saying that you stopped the use of plastic at school.
Yes, yes. So initially, this was our main project, and after that, what we did was that we asked the students that if you have any plastic waste, then you may as well bring it to school and donate it. So we were able to collect 10 kg plastic, and what we did was that kind of plastic was deposited to a plastic cafe. So what we have in plastic cafe, usually there are many plastic cafes in India. What we do is that they ensure that such plastic material which is being submitted to them is not being utilized in a bad way. It is being recycled, and it is not thrown away elsewhere. So that is what the plastic cafes do. And so this was our second project. The two projects that we carried out related to environment. The third project was related to the tree plantation drive. So we went to many schools around us in which we planted trees, and we also told the students that planting a tree is a need of an hour. So these three projects, though had a little impact, but it gave us a whole lot of satisfaction that yes, we are able to do something even at school level.
Okay, tell me, how did you develop it at school? Didn't you have any resilience by people telling you, I just want to drink my water, the water in my plastic bottle, etc.? How did you, because I know it is very difficult. You might carry it in yourself, but I know it's very difficult to implement it.
Yes, I also said that it was very difficult, and so we. What happened was that we had a lot of support from the authorities, our principal ma'am, our teachers. So they were able to exert their influence towards students. Also, we told the parents as well that we also carried out some of the parent session, and when there was the parent teachers meeting, so the teachers were required to tell the parents the new laws which are being established and enforced under the institution.
Okay, what was your role in Interact?
Yes. So initially, I was a member. So it's been 3 years that I have been a part of it. Initially, I was a member, and after that, I served as the joint secretary. And last year, I served as the president. So this
Interesting.
year, this year I'll be serving as the past president, and I'll be coordinating with the new president.
That's very interesting. And you will remain president of Interact at school this year?
Last year.
Last year. Okay. Let's go a bit to Riyadh and we'll get back to you. And feel free, as Riyadh is doing. It looks like later on, not now, Riyadh. He has questions for you. So he will be asking you the question. Feel
Yes.
free to do the same. Riad Tahan from Beirut, can you please tell us your story with community service at school? How did it start? Because I know that in Lebanon it's different.
Yes, it's different from India because in secondary school it's mandatory the community service. But let's talk before about the community service as children's. So when we were small, when we were younger at school, we used to have food banks and food banks and and clothes drive where we collected the food and clothes and gave it to ONGs or NGOs.
The
I'm sorry.
NGOs.
Yeah, the
Okay,
NGOs. ONGs is in French. Yeah,
in
and
French.
yes, and we used to collect them and put it in a box at school, and we gave it to the NGOs. Then we also had bake sales where everyone cooked something from and brought it from home, where and everyone, all the students paid to eat it, and when we finished, we collected all the money and gave it to different causes. Each time it was different. Every time it was different. But and we also did some cleaning around Lebanon, etc. But when we got older in secondary school, we had 30 hours to complete in community service. Um, and during these 30 hours, we had a lot of things to do that were actually fun. I enjoyed them. For example, sorry, I forgot to say when we were small, also, when we were younger, we also used to go to an orphanage called Bon Pasteur, where the Great Shepherd in English, where we used to bring a magician and give kids to the give gifts to the kids at Christmas because maybe they didn't have the chance to have gifts at Christmas, and we used to bring a magician and Santa, etc. But okay, let's go back to the 30 hours in secondary school. We used
No, I
to,
have a question here. Sorry, Riyad,
yes,
to
of
cut you off.
course.
It's an
Yes,
important question. Did you, as a school of or group of students, worked with the
yes.
same orphanage?
Yes, it wasn't mandatory, but we used to go the IC students to this orphanage and help them out and give them gifts. And sometimes they had lists. They ordered things that were small things, but they meant a lot to them. So we brought it. Each one took a list and took care of a list, and we brought the gifts to them.
So kind of you adopted that orphanage, although new kids
Yes,
were joining, correct, every other year.
yes,
But
yes.
you still had specific students that grew with you as you were growing, correct?
Yeah, yes,
Okay. Now we reach the high school where the 30 hours became part of the curriculum.
yes.
Okay. Can you
I-
explain here how things became different?
yes, things became different because all of our class was forced to do the community service. As I said, I enjoyed it, but not everyone enjoyed it. But we were forced to do it for our CVs or I don't know, and for the good of the society, of course. But and We did community service that was direct and indirect. For example, an example of an indirect community service was when the Red Cross came to our school to teach us how to behave in cases of emergency and how to help people that are in critical situations. Direct community service was when we did a food bank and food drive, like when we were small, or even when we went to houses. We went to a building that was filled with families that needed help with food, and we gave them the food with our hands. We also went cleaning the beaches and cleaning a lot of places. And we went also to the marathon. There's a Lebanese marathon, and we picked up because when they run, the runners throw the water bottles on the floor. So we were one of the teams that took plastic bags and put the water bottles in the bags to go to recycle them, and we cheered up the runners, etc.
I want to go back to both of you and really connecting the activities that are happening in different countries. And especially that Riya in person is an environment advocate.
Yes.
Riya, what activities did you do for the environment? Similar to what Riyadh did, like beach cleaning. He said beach cleaning, pick up the water bottle after in the marathon, etc. What were your focused in the community, not at school?
Yeah. So there was this independent competition from the government. We had to write an essay on the environment. So, and also there was another competition called the filmmaking documentary competition. So I participated in both of those competition, and though I didn't win, but it was an amazing experience filming the documentary. Furthermore, I don't live like the capital city is not surrounded by the beaches, so I don't have any beach around me, so I would have really enjoyed beach cleaning, the activity of beach cleaning. But unfortunately, the capital city of India does not have that. And so also, I usually do some of the social media campaigns in which I tell my neighbors about what we are required to do towards environment. And also, the government, our Indian government, they have carried out various campaigns, and they have also established strict laws and stringent laws which we have to follow, otherwise we would be penalized or some strict actions would be taken. So for that, I also make my neighbors aware, the people around me aware of those laws, of those particular things that we need to take care of. So that is what
Okay,
I did.
excellent. How
Yes.
about participation in rallies related to environment? Did you do any
We didn't
rally?
have much, yeah, not related to environment. So those rallies were carried out other than the issue of environment.
On different issues, but you did rallies related to different issues.
Yes.
How did you? Okay, Cynthia, the COVID-19, we're reaching it in a bit. Thank you for your question. It's an important question, but we're reaching it in a bit. Riyadh, I want to go back to you a bit,
Yes.
and I want to go back. Was it difficult to? This is a topic that Riya discussed, how she
Mm.
faced difficulties. Okay, which is
Yes.
very normal, like making people recycle, pushing them to something they believe someone else can do. It always relieves them from the duties in their mind. With you, was it difficult to encourage students in your class to work throughout the year?
Uh, I wasn't like Ria. I'm not I like helping the environment, but I'm not an environmentalist. It's not the main
No, it
topic
doesn't
that
have to
I
be
defend.
on
Yeah.
environmental. It could be under
Ah.
the focus of your cause.
Yes.
Was
Ah.
it
Okay.
difficult to involve students with you?
Yes, sometimes when we did the food bank, they used to forget to bring the food with them. So I had to remind them, call them, send them messages every day. Don't forget, please. We have the food bank. I have to give the food and take the names of the people that didn't bring food with them. Yeah.
Just to let you know, this happens across the world and over different ages.
Yes.
Ria, as I understand from you, that your involvement as an activist in the environmental development was individual. It wasn't compulsory by the school, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Correct. As for Riyadh, we know that the last 3 years this was
Yes.
compulsory.
Yes. And I
The
forgot to talk
last
about
two
the things
years,
that weren't.
yes, the
Sorry.
last
I.
2 years.
Mm,
What
yes.
I want to know, what did you do? And I'm gonna start with Riya. Outside the school, what were your activities, even though you were, if you can list a few before Riyadh takes the word, okay, what were the activities you did, although all you've done is personal and out of personal motivation, what were you able to do, and were you able to involve other people from school to work with you?
So, what I personally, experienced was that working with the school was much more easier than working with the society. Because when you work with school, there are students and teachers that support you. But when it comes to society, it is only the parents, and you don't know that what other people think about that issue. So. Uh, a little projects were being carried out from my side towards the society individually, because I too feel that I cannot work without a team, because it is very difficult to change the way a person perceives things. So for that, some little steps can be taken individually, such as they say that charity begins at home. So for that, what I did was that you can encourage your friend circles that you can celebrate the birthdays or maybe any of the celebration at NGOs, because or maybe orphanages. So that is something that reflects the empathy of people. Or maybe if there is some political issue, so you can actually discuss it with your parents, and you can just put up your viewpoint regarding that. And then when parents and the neighbors or any other person would be discussing such issues, then they would actually put up our viewpoint. So what I want to say is that personally, working individually is much more difficult than working with the school. So whenever I have an interesting activity or any of the issue, I definitely present it to the teacher in charge of my club, and she really supports me.
It's very normal because it is not easy, any topic you are doing. But what you have done a lot that was excellent was the social media you used in that favor. It's not always picking up the trash or planting trees or cleaning. It's sometimes you can reach the community under different in different means. We're going to go to Riyadh now. Riyadh, I want to know from you, what were the things you were doing on your own outside the umbrella of the school?
Yes. So 3 years, 2 years ago, or I don't recall the year exactly, but I did tutoring for a child that had cancer. But when I taught him, he didn't have cancer anymore. He didn't have the sickness anymore, but he was behind all of his classmates at school because he didn't go to school when he had cancer. So he was behind all of his classmates. And I helped him in his studies because he had an exam to present. I also did tutoring this year during the COVID pandemic. And I had tutoring a child online. Uh, we FaceTime and I helped him in his studies and in his studies. Also, my best friend, had an association that was called One Help, One Smile. And I can't take all of the credit, but I also helped her a lot in to organize the events of her association, because her association was to it consisted in doing organizing events and collecting money and giving them to children cancer, for example. And I did a talent show there, and I sang in it, and I organized it. I did the group, and I also helped her to talk to the supermarkets and to a lot of companies that would like to give us stuff for free that we could use in this event.
Okay, this is excellent because this is so important. What you both did. What I need to know from you, where are you heading to university? Not which university, what topic, what major are you heading to? We start with Riya, always Riyadh. Sorry, but we started like this, we're continuing like this. Okay,
So
Riya.
I aspire in majoring political science, and if not that, then economics.
Okay, excellent. Riyadh, do you have any idea where you're heading?
Yes, I have an
University?
idea, but I'm not sure about it. It's either business or biomedical engineering, and maybe I'm gonna go. And there is something called also financial engineering. I'm also thinking about it. And yes, these are my options. I for now, I think.
Okay, and my question, will you be continuing the community service, the boost you have, will you be continuing in the future, or is it gonna end with the high school? We go to Riya.
So, well, taking into consideration the journey, so I promised myself that no matter where I go, I would always continue the community service. So I
And
think that
which,
I'll
yeah, go ahead.
maybe
Which
I'll start
branch?
my new club and
And excellent. Environmental club.
yes.
Okay, Riyadh, how about you? Will community service be part of your future, although you no longer committed to the 30 hours per year?
Yes, of course, I'm gonna continue community service, but actually, I don't know why, because I think I'm going abroad for university. I'm not staying in Lebanon, so I'm gonna see what options do I have to help the community abroad, and when I come for vacation, I'm gonna try to help also in Lebanon.
Okay, excellent. How was COVID-19 in your country, Ria? How did it affect your school year and how is it today?
Well, it was quite unpredictable and unforeseen, and we were all shocked initially that we were in a lockdown period for like 24 days for the first time, and then it extended, and it still is extending. We don't know when we would be going to school. So I kind of miss school, but we actually totally shifted to the virtual world. Like everything that is happening, it's on the screen. So even
Okay.
the cultural exchange programs are happening, and our online classes are also on. Sorry, so the classes are also online, and it's quite challenging to focus. But somehow we got used to it. We have to study. We cannot compromise that. So we have to.
Okay, and how is the COVID-19 now? Are you still in confinement?
Yes, we are. Although some of the essential stores are opened, yet we are following the social distancing as much as we can.
And you wear the mask as well in public, correct?
Yes, it is compulsory.
It's compulsory. Okay, Riyadh, how is COVID-19 here in your country?
Uh, of course, we couldn't continue school, and we did it online on Zoom, and we had a quarantine, so we stayed at home for a month, maybe more. I don't remember the exact days. Yes, and but now we're not anymore in confinement, and we can go out, but we have to respect the social distancing measures, and when I go out, I always wear a mask, and I sanitize my hands every time I arrive to a place or leave a place.
If we discuss it truly, if you think about it, this is the first time in your life and probably my life as well, but I don't want to put us on in the same plate in view of the difference of age.
Yeah.
But this is the first time where you were able to boost a talent because of the confinement, where you had time to do something you like. Were you able to have time for yourself and do something you like to do? We start with Riya.
Yes. So of course we had a lot of time. So I tried to make the most of it. I tried to be productive most of the time. I tried to search my latent talent and develop skills in each and every field. So what I did was that I took a 2 year break from that dancing. So because I was really swarmed with studies as well as the co-curricular activities, but during this lockdown period, the quarantine period, I had a lot of time, and so I gave time to that as well, and I tried to learn from my sister. And although I like to sing, I'm a very bad singer, but I tried to learn singing from you. And so there were so many things that I did, and I'm thinking to go for an online course regarding coding. So coding usually is quite perplexing, and I often run away from it. But I think that it is essential. So I'm thinking to pursue a course regarding that. Furthermore, I also did online courses on Coursera related to law, related to philosophy. So I think that I have gained most of the knowledge I could ever in my life in this 2 months, maybe. I never thought I would do that. Also, I read novels and it was quite interesting. So that's it.
And as well, I met you through the blog where you are
Yes.
writing.
Oh, I thought.
And I
Yes.
find you a very talented young lady. Would you like to read something for us before we move to Riyadh?
Oh, yes. I'd love to. So just give me a second. Let me open it.
Take your time. Should I speak to Riyadh by the time you get ready?
Yes, ma'am, sure.
Yes, go ahead, prepare your text. We would like you to read it, make sure the voice, we would like you to read it for us, and so we can discuss it with you. Meanwhile, Riyadh from Lebanon will be telling us what is it that he did on a personal level when he found that he has time for himself.
Okay, so a little bit before the COVID pandemic, I started taking piano classes, and when the pandemic came to Lebanon, I started training a lot and singing at the same time on the piano. I sent you a video. I think you
Yes,
asked
we're
me to
gonna
send you a
show it in
video.
a bit. Yes, we're gonna
Yes.
show it in a bit.
And also, I took more time for myself to do sports. There is a lot of YouTube videos, YouTube workouts on the TV. I did them, and I enjoyed my time, and I stay more with myself.
Okay, let us, Ria, would you like me to go to you or should we hear the singing from Riyadh?
Oh, you can. I'd love to hear the singing from
You're
you.
ready?
Yes,
Are
I
you
am
ready?
ready.
Is your text ready?
Yes, it is.
Okay, go ahead. Let's go to your text, please. And I advise you to listen carefully because it's really, do you want to share it on the screen or you just want to read it?
I'll read it. Or do you want me to share it?
Share it,
Okay,
share it.
go ahead, share it.
All right.
Take your time.
I have to share the screen, right? Or do I have to just read it?
No, just share it here. Just use the share screen button and I will accept it. I hate the sharing part. It's always complicates my life, but it's fine. Okay, here we go.
Are you able to see the screen?
Yes, it's on the screen.
All right. So this is the poetry title as Pink. So it's about a girl who faces anxiety and she's not happy. So she tries to write it in a metaphorical language about how she is not able to find someone uh, she could love. So
Okay,
I started reading
please.
in pink light, black letters printed over terracotta paper. Imagine a world where invisible walls reflected me. Far this yet by my side you are, leading to this uncertain fate. An albatross in a cage, willfully rested to love. The finest holy marks your devotion speaks in rage. A distinguished and disguised strain that he took to be in love. Bad deeds weren't bad enough to let my faith regain. You smiled at me as if nothing changed. I cried a little, it all stays the same. That's the poem.
Okay, this is the one you read for me before the other day.
No, this is the other one.
This is the other one. You have the other one ready as well?
Yes,
Can you please share it?
yes, sure. Are you able to see it?
Yes, but I see black, nothing yet. It's not showing. Try
It is
again.
in my screen.
Yes, it is. Go ahead.
All right. An abrupt ambient of inexorable poisonous gas bounded me with the stillness of woe. The white dress that I'm wearing tonight will soon be colored with bloodstains. Been defeated by my own thoughts in this war, been drowned in the middle of the trench. Had my days when I felt breathless, been criticized for discovering me in these smokes and fires. These fears and lies will lead along, but the history can never walk away. Swallow the colors and lose yourself. This Garden of Eden is not where you belong to. This time I close my eyes but not dream. Fail to distinct the reality and desires. Have changed myself as you told me. The only regret is getting late to the party of death, where by now I actually should be. Life isn't worth your time. You belong to the other side. Thank you.
Wow.
It's so
That's it.
nice.
I know, isn't it? Riya, I like to discuss the second poem. I feel a lot of pain in it. Can you tell us why someone as beautiful as you, as successful as you, as self motivated as you are, where is this pain coming from?
See, there are things in your life that you get stuck in the past and you're not able to move towards that. In when you know that things are changing and they are changing for good, but you don't want it to be changed. You just want to be in the past, or maybe you have those thoughts in your mind that you are not able to feel happy, even if you have everything. So this poem is about those people that. Though they try to be happy, and although they have everything in life, yet they just fake a smile and they're not happy from inside. That's so this poem is about those people.
Okay, very interesting. It's you are talking. This is the voice of the teenagers They go through stuff as they grow up. They go through bullying, they go through friends coming in and out of their life, they go through physical and emotional changes. And it is so important to express those feelings in words. Probably you got over them, and in fact, with time you will. But those lines will always be the words for the youth. They're very important. As you notice, I didn't open the question between you two yet because I still have Riyad's talent to share with you. Okay, stay with me. Uh,
That's my favorite song.
Really?
Yes, I love
I
that.
thought so. Yeah.
I can't hear.
Yes, also me. I'm not able to hear it.
We can't hear it.
No,
No,
No, I can't.
you cannot hear it.
no. Maybe play it
Riya,
again.
Riya, were you
Maybe
able
play.
to hear it?
No, ma'am.
No. Okay, let me try and see why. We go back, stop sharing. Let's see. Okay, we need to do the share audio, which I did. Let me try again. Share audio, share screen. Okay, I'm sorry. Now it's gonna happen again.
It went away. Oh, it's okay if it doesn't work.
We aren't able to see the screen.
Yes, it's okay. No, I don't know. I can't see anything. But it's okay. It's okay if it doesn't work.
Guys, you did not hear the voice.
No.
Okay, I'm gonna share it anyways. It was clear in the session. I'm gonna share it at the end, as I'm gonna share the poems of Riya. Riyad, this song you chose,
Yes.
why did you choose it? Summertime Sadness.
Yes, I like this song a lot, and I love Lana Del Rey, the singer. And of course, everyone can experience sadness in his life, but actually, I'm more of a happy person. and most of the time I'm happy. But of course, there are things that make me sad, especially this year when everyone, when a lot of my friends are leaving the country to study abroad, or things like this and the situation in Lebanon, because of the situation in the country, and how the country is going. Things like this makes me sad this summer.
Yeah, they're making all of us sad.
Yes,
It's a breakthrough in our life. It's gonna tip
yes,
either right or left. And it is sad when things like this happen, and especially at your age when you feel out of control and you just have to go with the flow of things.
yeah, yes.
I wanna I have one activity for both of you that we're gonna do in a bit. But before that, I wanna leave the platform for both of you to start asking each other question if you have any questions for each other. We start with Riya. You have any
Question?
questions for Riyadh?
Yes, I do. So, like in India, taking into consideration the COVID-19 pandemic, we eventually, as per the government, we have issued a policy, the new economic policy, which would be fully and effectively implemented by 2030. So, did the Lebanese government do something related to education due to the COVID-19 pandemic?
For the education?
Yes.
Uh, I don't know, but I don't think so. But I
No,
do know that there
Riyadh,
are,
I'm gonna repeat the question and tell me whether I understood you
yes,
correctly. You are asking Riyadh, you are telling him that in India, the government put specific laws to complete the academic year, correct?
Yes.
What did the government do in Lebanon?
Yes.
they said that everyone has to pass.
Okay.
If he had passing grades before, he can pass. There's no final exams or yes.
Okay, and as well, they made everyone study online via Zoom.
Yes. I don't know
Okay,
about the other school, but my school, yes.
all schools where it was
Okay.
compulsory for all schools to complete the year, the academic year online. Okay,
Okay.
how about other questions, Ria?
Yes. I'd like to ask that you've told that community service is necessary in Lebanon, right?
Yes.
So, don't you think that it won't be able to create impact because the students would be doing activities for the sake of just completing it, uh, and they are not given choice that whether they want to do it or not. So, when you don't have the passion to do it, you would just do it for the sake of completing it.
Yes, unfortunately, there are people that do it only to complete the time. But I think when the school introduces you to community service, maybe you might like it even more than you did before during your childhood, and you might become more active in community service, and you might more help your society. And even though if they don't like doing this, they're helping the country, even though they don't enjoy it. So either way, I think it's good.
Other
All right.
questions, Ria?
Yeah. So the question is that in our country, what system do we have is that we have to in at the high school we have this exam called board exams, and after that we are given a particular percentage, and accordingly we are being provided with the different universities. So what education system does Lebanon have, and does it consider some of the co-curricular activities that you did?
Yes, I'm in the French baccalaureate, and we submit our grades to the a counselor at school. That this is the question, right?
Yes,
Yes,
she's
yes.
asking
Yes,
you what system do you
yeah,
follow in Lebanon? You have to
yes.
speak about the French, American, and
Yes, there is the Lebanese baccalaureate and there is the French baccalaureate. There is IB, it's the International Baccalaureate, and there is CPP, that is high school. I'm in the French baccalaureate, and we have to submit our grades to the universities so that they know if they can accept us or not. And some universities recommend the SATs. I don't know if they still recommend it now that there is the pandemic, and I don't know if we can, do the tests. And yes, it's like yes,
do you do the SAT there, the IELTS, or any
yes. I'm
in
gonna
India?
do. Ah, okay, sorry.
India.
Yes, like those students who want to go abroad for an undergraduate program, so they take the SATs.
Okay,
Otherwise, most of the people don't.
most people don't. Riyad, do you have more questions for Riyad, or shall he ask you his questions?
You may proceed. I don't have any questions.
Okay, Riyad, you have any questions for Riya?
Yes. Okay. You talked about a newsletter that you write a newsletter. What do you write in your newsletter?
So it's about the politics all around the world, which type of deals are being signed between countries. So it's about the latest news. We cover the latest developments that are taking place in India and elsewhere. We also talk about the diplomatic relations and the changes that are taking place in society or maybe the constitution, the various amendments. So that's what we discuss in that newsletter.
Okay, very interesting.
Very.
Also, you talked about there are in your school women empowerment club. You talked about a women empowerment club. Do you face I know, do you face I don't know from the society in India?
Gender inequality.
Yeah, gender inequality.
See, from where I live, like in urban cities, I don't think there exist any of the inequalities anymore. Yet,
Hmm.
there are some stereotypes which needs to be totally abandoned and totally abolished. There are certain stereotypes in society, in each and every society, so that somehow discriminate women or somehow are quite controversial when it comes to women. So, related to that, we actually carry out discussions that how can such issues be tackled.
Okay. Okay, thank you. I have another question. You said that you banned the lunchbox, the plastic lunchbox at school, right?
And the water bottles as
Yes.
well.
Yes, but why did you ban the plastic lunchbox if it's reusable?
That's because we wanted the students to know that plastic of one kind or the other is harmful. So, to reduce it and to minimize it as much as possible, we did everything we could. And furthermore, we eventually what we do is that we take into consideration what the government is planning. And so, what the Indian government did was that it introduced another campaign which was called the banning the single plastic. So
Ah,
for
so you're
that,
trying to
what we
ban
did was
any
we
kind. Okay.
yes.
Yes. Ah, okay.
They wanted
Okay.
to reach a no plastic zone or zero plastic zone.
Yes. Yes. Okay, I still have a question. You write, I saw you, no, you wrote in English your poems. Do you write in Hindi too, or just in English?
Could you please repeat the question? I wasn't able to hear
Do
you
you,
clearly.
sorry. Do you also write in Hindi or just in English?
Yes, yes, I do.
Okay, nice.
I write in
We don't
And
want you to read to us in Hindi because it's as
we
if
don't
we're reading
understand.
to you in Arabic.
And
yeah.
maybe it's a stereotype, but in India, I know that yoga is very popular. Did you try to do it to reduce anxiety or I don't know, some kind?
Uh, yes, yoga is very popular in India, and
Yes.
I don't usually do yoga honestly. I like
Ah, okay.
to go around, but yoga is quite boring for me. Like I think that it's for old people.
Exactly.
Okay.
At your age, probably it's rarely where we see people evolved in yoga and meditation. Your way out is through activities which both of you are doing plenty, and really it's excellent. What
Thank
is
you.
You're welcome. What is the impact of community service on you, and how do you feel your impact was on the community? We go to Riya.
Yes. So I like to start with that. When I wasn't in the Interact Club, or I wasn't even aware of what clubs do we have in school, I used to be a very dumb girl, and I was really anxious, and I couldn't even speak two words at a stretch in English. And when teacher used to make me stand to answer a question, I used to be very, very nervous, and I used to stumble a lot. Then I thought that it's time to change and I have to somehow change. So I tried my best to focus on me to improve myself. And so the journey began. I first became a member of the club, and when I was the member, I still was a bit anxious, and there was something inside me that made me stop. And when the students were having a group discussion, they were very interactive, and I just used to sit in a corner, and it just made me feel an outcast. But somehow I participated in many of the competitions, and I started building confidence. And then my big achievement was that I became the president of the club, and I was really grateful for that as well. And I somehow got to know that how the team needs to be managed and how you have to present yourself in society. And furthermore, I like to say the fact that that group discussion is considered to be one of the dimension of a sound mental health. So most of the researchers consider group discussion as an essential part when it comes to how improvised your mental health is. And I also saw it that when I didn't speak and when I was dumb, or I shouldn't say dumb, but I wasn't really much involved in society. That time I wasn't much happy about me or anything. But when I started doing community service, there was a sense of satisfaction that I don't think could ever be substituted by any other satisfaction. So that was what I believe.
Excellent. And how do you feel
Wow.
your impact was on the community? You are both wow.
Uh, what I think is that even though there were little steps, it had little effect, but I really enjoyed it, and my teachers started recognizing me. I used to be a nobody, and my teachers started recognizing me. So that was something that I was really proud of myself. And my parents were happy, and they were really supportive all the time. Like what most parents do is that they always see that no, you need to focus on academics first. Community service is not your priority. But what my parents did was that they said that community service is the utmost priority, and you need to balance somehow your academics. But they were really encouraging, and I'm grateful for that as well. So
Let
the
me tell you.
impact was yes.
Go ahead. Continue.
Yeah. So just to end it, that the impact, it doesn't matter what impact it has, what to what extent does it have, but what matters is that you have that satisfaction that you have done something. And even if you're able to at least change or bring about a change in a person's life, that is something you should be happy about and you should appreciate that.
Let me tell you a little story that is like my Bible in life, and it's something I always tell people about. There was this child on the beach walking, trying to throw back in the ocean the thousands of starfish that were on the sand about to die. So he was taking the starfish and throwing them back in the ocean one by one until this old man came to him and told him, "Do you think you're going to save them all?" The answer was, "If I can save the life of one fish, that will be a start." And this is life, and this is the community service, and this is what you guys did, and you, Riya, specifically, because what you did was out of passion, not compulsory. Okay, it's what Riyadh did during his summer days when he went beyond the compulsory hours of the school to help and change the community. Riyadh, to
Yes. Sorry.
the
Uh,
impact of community service on you, and how do you feel it impacted the community?
uh, uh, I really love community service, and I like because I do more of community service with the society, like with people, not on with the environment, because I feel it's very rewarding, and I love seeing the smile on people's face, and I really like it. It's very rewarding, like you said, it's really rewarding. And on the society, I think I might have helped a lot, but if everyone does a little bit, it will be so good. You know, the society will improve a lot.
Exactly, and this is the title of our session. Hand in hand, we will change the world.
Yes.
Now, I want Riyadh, I want you to mute the speaker. I'm going to be asking words to Riya. Don't mute it yet. The
Okay.
speaker, not the
The
microphone.
volume, the volume.
Yes, I do not want you hearing her answers.
Okay.
Before you go, I will tell you when to do it. Riya, I'm going to be telling you 10 words, and you're going to tell me what you think when I say those words, what they mean to you, what can we do about them, in short. Okay? Riyadh, are you off? Okay. Poverty.
So poverty in context of India, so we were able to we can say reduce it to maximum level we could, and we still are trying. So poverty is a situation in which a person isn't able to afford some minimum requirements that are needed in life, such as the
How do you
food
feel
and
about it?
yes, I believe that in India, right from the independence, we there was a lot of poverty prevailing in the society, but India was able to reduce it to a considerable level, and we still are trying to do our best when it comes to poverty. And some of the deprived sections are, they aren't able to afford education, and for that we have also introduced many laws such as right to education, in which students are provided free education from 6 to 14 years.
Abuse.
Abuse, I'd like to talk about the domestic abuse. So domestic abuse, when we talk about domestic abuse, I think that in India, women suffered a lot when it comes to domestic abuse, because they weren't financially independent and they didn't have much of the social status that men used to have. And we used to have a patriarchal society, and we still are recovering from those, and we are just trying to erase those scars. And uh, that's it about the domestic abuse.
In short, bullying.
All right. So bullying, I believe that it particularly prevails in schools and in educational institutions, like where the students meet, and whenever you see an outcast, you uh, do not try to involve him in the group. You just try to, just make him or her just go away, and you think that that person isn't worthy enough to become one of your member. And bullying, I think it happens because in terms of looks, maybe in terms of the body weight, either you're too fat or you're uh, too tall, you're too short, or you're often it is
Okay.
often said that you're too dark, or maybe
Medical health.
yeah, that's it. Mental health, yes. So I have a keen interest in mental health, and I like to read about it. And I believe that it was once considered a taboo, but after the coming up of social media and some of the influencers and some of the celebrities, when they talked about it, so we are somehow able to express ourselves. So whenever we are feeling sad, we can express it, and there are people who can help you.
Peace.
Peace. Okay. The only thing that I can think about right now is United Nations. So for me, peace is something that people are minding their own business, and they're happy with their lives. And though it's quite utopia that they are happy with their lives, but peace is something that when countries do not fight, when they do not have any conflict, when they are peacefully resolving their contentious issues.
Food.
Food. All right.
Food
So
and the world. Let me facilitate it for you.
it's one of the development goals of the United Nations that there should be zero hunger. So I believe that at least each and every person, the 7 billion people in the world, they should be able to afford at least 3 meals in a day so as to sustain themselves because of the hard work that they are doing.
Religion.
Religion is a very sensitive topic to talk about, because if you have any conflicting religions, then they usually go for war. So when it comes to religion, I believe that everyone should respect each other religion, no matter what religion do you follow, or even if you're atheist. And I think each and every nation should be a secular nation.
Words and communication.
Okay, words and communication. So they are necessary, because without them, I don't think that we will be able to connect with the society like we are doing right now.
Okay. Water and people in underprivileged countries.
Yeah. So as I said, that it is one of the other goal of the United Nations Sustainable Development Programs, that each and every person should be provided with adequate access to clean drinking waters, because some of the people are still not receiving the clean waters, and they usually live by uh, we can say around the places where clean water is not available, or they have to be in a row, a long queue, and they wait for their turn to fill their water bottles or their buckets.
Environment and recycling.
Yes. So environment and recycling, that we should really understand the need of an art when it comes to environment, because it is degrading to a very considerable extent, which is not good. And the nations should cooperate. The major industrial houses, the major industrial countries should cooperate, and they also have signed various protocols for that, which is really appreciable. But they should also ensure that these protocols are being implemented, and they are
Okay,
being
thank you.
implemented all the time.
Thank you for being with us. Riyadh, we need to call Riyadh. Riyadh, hi. I'm gonna be
Hello, I didn't
asking
hear
you
anything.
I'm gonna be telling you words. Your answer will be Riya, stay, because you already finished. The first thing that would come to mind and relate them to the word. We start with the word poverty.
What am I supposed to say?
What do you
Things
think?
about
What is the
poverty?
first thing that comes to your mind when I say the word poverty?
I think about people that can't have food and access to supplies that are human rights, like water or food or even a toilet or I don't know.
Exactly.
Yes, and I feel like I need to help. I feel a little bit of pity when I hear this word, but I feel also like I need to help when I hear this word.
Abuse. The word abuse.
Um, I think about child abuse, parents that hit their children, and also about abuse in a couple when the the man hurts the woman, or even when the woman hurts the man, it can happen too. And I think that this is something that has to stop, and people should talk about it because there are a lot of associations or even the police that wants to hear about this and wants to stop this all around the world.
Bullying.
I don't know why when I hear about bullying, I always picture it in a school. I picture people in a school bullying another kid. I don't know if bullying can happen, in when people are aged, when people get older. But yes, I hate bullying, honestly. I think everyone hates bullying, and I don't really understand it. And also, it's one of the things that has to stop because it's really not right, and it can affect a person's life and all his life, not just 1 year or 2 year. It can affect all his life.
Medical health.
Medical health, okay, vaccines. I think about vaccines. I think
And,
about going to the doctor. Yes,
and
not.
it should be available to
Yeah, it should be available to everyone, of course.
peace.
Uh, when I think about peace, it's an idea. It would be utopic if there was peace everywhere, but I don't think when we live between humans, I don't think we can always have peace everywhere, and it should be disturbed. It will be disturbed, but it shouldn't, of course. And yes, I
Food,
hope
food,
what?
food, and underprivileged countries. Food.
Yes, when I think about food, I think about where there is country, and I think about bad nutrition in some of the countries, mainly in Africa, also in Yemen, etc. In a lot of country, in a lot of places, and I think that it should be, of course, available for everyone. It's obvious to say this because there are children that can't eat and are starving, and they didn't do anything to anyone. No one, and even if they did, no one deserves starving or eating wrong food.
Religion.
I think that religion is part of everyone's identity. and that it puts values into you that stick with you throughout all of your life. I don't say that if you don't follow a religion or if you're not very religious that you don't have values, but I think that religion can bring some of these values to people, and uh, and I say that we should respect all of the religions around the world because everyone have a point of view and we should respect it.
Words and communication.
I think to have peace or to have something close to peace, we have to talk and communicate between each other so we can help each other and improve in the society.
Water and people in underprivileged countries.
As I talked before, I said before that it's human rights to have water and access to water, and I think that everyone should try to help these people to to give them water to assure water, running water, all around the world.
Last word, environment and recycling.
Uh, it's our earth, so we should take care of it. We really should take care of it. And we should thank people like Riya because she's an environmentalist and she helps a lot her country. And it's our earth and we have to help it. We have to take care of her because we have only one of it. And in a few years, maybe with time, it won't be available. So we have to take care of it for future generations.
Guys, what can I say? Both of you are wonderful. It was a pleasure having you and having this discussion with you. Anyone would like to say any word before I give the wrap up?
Just thank you.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
for the opportunity.
It was really amazing, and I waited for another week because we had to extend it.
As you noticed, Riyad, when you watch the episode, you're gonna notice that both of you basically gave very close answers to the 10 words. Uh, this shows your compassion towards change. You both are amazing children because we have to say you are both still children because in the UN standards you are under 18 and you are both amazing in what you did. I am sure the world is in a better place with you both and with more people like you. In my name and the name of everyone who has attended the session, I will tell you, you are both ambassadors of change. I am
Thank
truly
you.
proud to have known both of you and to have had you now on my session. And we will see more and hear more about you in the future. Thank you so much
Thanks to
and
you.
have a great evening and stay safe. Bye,
Thank
Ria.
you.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.